Spooky, atmospheric music begins softly and builds slightly. Have you ever heard of a place so haunted? Its ghosts reach out across the world to punish those who disrespect them. Deep in the high desert of California's Sierra Nevada mountains, there's a town frozen in time, a place called Bodie. It's not just abandoned. Some say it's cursed. In the late 1800s, Bodie was the definition of the Wild West. Gold fever drew thousands to this remote outpost. It was a town built on greed and grit, with a reputation for being one of the most lawless places in America. The streets were lined with 65 saloons, where gunfights were a daily occurrence and life was cheap. They used to say, "Goodbye, God, I'm going to Bodie." It was a place of high hopes and even higher stakes, where fortunes were made and lost in the blink of an eye. But like a flash in a gold pan, Bodie's glory was short-lived. The gold veins started to run dry. Devastating fires swept through the wooden town, not once, but twice, turning dreams to ash. The mines, once the heart of the town, began to collapse. People started leaving as quickly as they had arrived, abandoning their homes, their businesses, and all their worldly possessions. By the 1940s, Bodie was officially a ghost town, preserved in a state of arrested decay by the dry desert air. The interiors of the homes are still filled with furniture, plates are on the tables, and goods lined the shelves of the general store, as if the residents simply vanished. But they didn't just leave behind their belongings. They left behind a warning, a curse. It began quietly. As Bodie became a state historic park, visitors started flocking to see this perfectly preserved piece of history, and some of them couldn't resist taking a little piece of it home with them. A rusty nail, a shard of a bottle, a piece of wood from a crumbling saloon. They thought of it as a harmless souvenir. They were wrong. Soon letters started arriving at the park's museum, dozens of them at first, then hundreds. They came from all over the country, and eventually, all over the world. Each letter told a similar, chilling story, a story of inexplicable bad luck, of sudden and devastating misfortune that began the moment they took something from Bodie. One person wrote, "Please take this back. Since I took it, my luck has been nothing but bad." Another confessed, "I've had a series of terrible accidents and lost my job. I'm so sorry. I'm returning this piece of glass." These letters, known as the curse return mail, are filled with tales of financial ruin, broken relationships, chronic illness, and even house fires. Every single one arrived with the stolen item carefully packaged inside, sent back by a terrified individual begging for forgiveness from the spirits of Bodie. Park rangers have a whole binder full of these letters, a testament to the town's lingering power. They say the spirits of the old miners, the gamblers, and the outlaws still guard their home fiercely. They don't want their town dismantled, piece by piece. Rangers who live near the park have reported their own eerie experiences. Late at night, when the tourists are long gone and the desert is silent, they hear things that shouldn't be there. Phantom footsteps crunching on the gravel streets, the faint sound of a child's laughter echoing from an empty schoolhouse, doors creaking open and shutting on their own in buildings that have been locked for decades. One of the most common reports is the sound of music, a ghostly piano playing a tinny saloon tune that drifts on the cold night wind, as if the spirits are still enjoying a night out. Some visitors have even claimed to see figures in the windows of the abandoned buildings, watching them. A woman in a rocking chair, a man standing in a doorway, ghosts of the past who never truly left. So, is the Bodie curse real? Is it the restless spirits of a bygone era protecting their home? Or is it simply the power of guilt and suggestion working on people's minds? We may never know for sure, but the hundreds of letters and returned artifacts tell a compelling story. If you ever find yourself wandering the dusty, silent streets of Bodie, remember where you are. Take all the photos you want, take the memories of this incredible place with you, but leave everything else where it lies. Because whatever you take from Bodie, the curse will make sure it finds its way back home, one way or another. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the paranormal, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another spooky story. See you next time.